to this week's Bonehead of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
This edition, it has a theme this week. It is the lackey Trump attorneys is the theme of the Bonehead poll this week. Gabe, he's got a lot of really stupid attorneys. These television attorneys is what they really seem like. Now let's look at the candidates here. We have Christina Bobb, as we know, it's not just his television attorney. She's also an old host on OAN, propagandist on OAN. But more importantly, she was in the Department of Homeland Security, and she helped John Eastman write the Cheeto Dust Kangaroo coup plan. She's one of the architects and was in the war room with that traitor Steve Bannon, Rudy Giuliani, and also John Eastman himself. Jim Trusty here. This guy has made an appearance here all of a sudden. I don't even know who this guy is, but we're going to find out. And then Alina Habba? Is that how you say her name?
Yeah, Alina Habba.
Alina Habba there are our Bonehead of the Week contestants here. And you guys voted, and it was overwhelmingly which one was the Bonehead of the Week. And really, honestly, I think the issue is that we really didn't get to see what Trusty, we didn't get to see his boneheadedness marinate enough.
Yeah, really, I mean, like he was, he's a late comer, right?
Right.
He was a late entry
A late comer.
Okay,
gotcha. What?
Dude, get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm just making sure what you said.
Yeah, all right.
I'm trying to do.
He is late to enter the race.
Okay, gotcha.
Into the legal race, which is Trump's incompetent, just
because we watch these morons. We watch these morons on TV.
Every time they go on, they have the dumbest takes. Again, we're not lawyers. Takes. I mean, we'll chat, we'll chime in with Ben every now and again when these new takes come out, and he's like, "This is so dumb."
Right.
This is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard someone try to argue.
That's what we do is like before we go on a show or make a video where it's like, hey, we kind of need to know what it actually is or isn't. Yeah. We'll either go on and we'll figure out if Harry Littman or Popak or Glenn or someone's going to give like some sort of explanation. We'll even go to Allison with Mueller. She wrote, we'll try to find someone who has some fucking common sense. And sometimes we go to Ben Meiselas and we're like, hey, we need a quick answer on this. We're going to make a video. We're going to say something. We want to make sure we're not fucking saying some dumb shit like these stupid fucking TV lawyers.
Yeah.
So we'll ask him a quick question and he'll respond back like, nope, it's exactly what you think. They're fucking dumb. Like, not so many words. That's my
right. And it's also like one of those things like, when we've been in, texting with him about these motions that they've been submitting, right? And even then he's like, this is a hot mess, man. This shit doesn't make any sense. They're talking about arbitrary legal theories.
What's funny when you watch Ben on like Legal AF or some of his like breaking takes, and he's flabbergasted in those videos. That's authentic. He's like this.
Like last night, there was that same type of like, what are we doing? When we were doing the actual live stream yesterday of Biden's speech, like we were talking about Mar-a-Lago and these documents and these motions, and he was just like, this is, as a lawyer, this hurts my head.
Right, because this is not the way it's supposed to go. Right. It's all backwards and confused. And the reason why is because we're dealing with Trump here. That's the reason why. But all you new listeners out there, you have entered the Bonehead of the Week segment here on the Tony Michaels podcast. What happens? We air every single weekday, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern, 11 Central, 9 Pacific on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So go follow our YouTube channel at Tony Michaels Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe over there. You can watch every single show every single weekday. But Bonehead of the Week, we put up a poll on Twitter at Tony Michaels Pod. So follow us over there. You get to vote every single week for Bonehead of the Week of the contestants that we put up. And this week we have all of Trump's boneheaded attorneys here.
Yeah, that's not even all of them, because there was a new one that was released or that was brought off the bench recently, just on Tuesday.
He's a newcomer.
He's a newcomer.
Newcomer.
He's or what I say, a latecomer?
Latecomer.
Yeah,
late. That's why I was like, late comer. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
well,
What is all this?
I mean,
Well, you know what's funny? I wanted to bring this up last night, but we were on the MeidasTouch podcast, and I feel like we can get away with more shit over here on the Tony Michaels podcast and Bonehead of the Week than they can over there. Because they keep talking about a special master, right? And then the special master with the FBI, they're a taint team. It just, man, I don't know what kind of gutter these attorneys' minds are in, and these judges and people who are making these names up. But special master, taint team, and now you're saying latecomer. This is all getting very saucy, very fast. So,
and I mean, they're at a certain point. They're like, look, these normal names aren't cutting it. We need something that everyone's going to remember.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. So if you want to watch Bonehead of the Week, watch it every single Friday in the second hour of the Tony Michaels podcast, or you can watch the replay right here in prime time on the MeidasTouch Network. So don't forget to subscribe if you're on the MeidasTouch Network channel to subscribe now. You can also download every single episode of Bonehead of the Week on Apple, Spotify, Google. So let's get into it, Gabe. Let's go to the where should we start? Should we start with Trusty? I think we should start with Trusty.
Yeah, we'll give Trusty his moment.
Because I saw an ad, that out there for Trusty that seemed to be, he's kind of cheap. He's not that expensive. Maybe that's the reason why Trump went with him, is because
well, he saw him on TV, and it was like, that's the guy I need,
right?
Because that's literally how he found him. He saw him on Fox News, because I haven't seen him actually on any other network, so I would imagine it was Fox News, but
only Fox News.
That is how he hired Jim Trusty.
And this is one of the pictures from Fox News, it appears, because you tweeted here, meet Jim Trusty, one of the lawyers Trump's hired after seeing him on TV. And it appears here that you can hire Jim Trusty for 184 easy payments of $99.99. www.trustmeimjimtrusty.com. Is this really his fucking phone number?
That's no. That's not his actual. I just put that there. But what I can say is that I'm working. I actually, you know what? I'll play the video. We'll play the video.
Do you want to put it in the thing
I'll
here?
put it in.
Okay.
But this will be an updated it's jimtrusty.com is the updated URL that we're going to use, because I'm working with Toby Morton.
Oh, that's right.
After this happened, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to buy the domain," and so then we've been chatting about it.
I see. But the Jim Trusty thread here. Let's see. Put that video up and we'll play it. But here is actual an interview here where he's talking about a special master on Fox News with, I don't know who this is, but let's listen to the trader's talk.
Pieces, one in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend that talks about the high bar and the huge challenge, another one in the New York Times, that Merrick Garland has right now. He basically has two different cases, this raid at Mar-a-Lago and also the January 6th issue, under which he could potentially prosecute a former president of the United States.
Okay, so right there, like, you're laying it out. Yes, there is a high bar for criminality. That is true. And yes, Merrick Garland has two opportunities so far to prosecute at that high bar for criminality. And we're starting to see the evidence because of Trump and his legal team roll out right in front of our eyes of what they're going to prosecute him for and why they're going to. Like, this is not normal. And that's what Ben was trying to say last night too. Like, this is not fucking normal. Normally what a defendant does is like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I need to batten down the hatches. I need to not say a thing and let my legal team handle this shit.
Yeah.
Because if he would have had a decent legal team.
Well, because also it's the things that he's saying, right? If he's going on these programs, he's releasing these statements on Truth Social, he's, going and giving a speech somewhere. These are things that can and probably will be used against him to say, you had intent. Clearly, you're indicating that you knew you had the documents, right? These are all things that can go against him. And I'm very surprised that his legal team isn't like, yo, shut the hell up, dude. Stop talking.
His legal team can't shut the hell up.
I know.
So let's listen to Jim Trusty here and see what this guy has to say.
So one of the things that's broken down in here is the parallel that was created by Jim Comey when he did a similar investigation of information and confidential documents that Hillary Clinton kept on a private server.
Okay, if it is the same, there is a parallel here, what could it have been that the MAGA were saying about the Hillary Clinton emails? What could it possibly have been? I think there was a 3-word chant that they were chanting at rallies. I can't remember exactly what it was. I can't remember exactly what they were calling for, but, there's something there.
And he came out at the time and said that, they had held back documents, the Clinton team, they held back documents after they said, oh, we gave them all the classified information, but yet they couldn't prosecute. So tell me what your take is on what is different or the same in those two things. And did that set a precedent for handling this case that cannot be overturned?
Okay, so before Dumbfuck speaks here, they're not the same. It is not the same. It's not the same at all. She didn't steal any documents. She didn't take anything that didn't belong to her. The government wasn't asking her to give something back that she took that they needed. Right. And when they did request the server, she didn't have to have the fucking FBI come and get it. They got the server, went, and they actually gave it to them.
Well, they were like, look, you can come on in. You can just take it. You can get it.
Right.
As opposed to, we don't have it. We don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, we're pretty sure we know it's missing and we've tracked it down and we're almost positive you have it somewhere and probably have it here. And he's like, no, we don't have it. If we had it, we would have told you. If we had it, we would have given it back to you. And they're like, okay, fine. We have it. Here is some of it. And they're like, okay, thanks. And they take it back and they're like, oh, well, this isn't actually all of it. Where's the rest of it? And they're like, we don't have it. What are you guys talking about? Like, no, we know you have it. And they're like, okay, fine. Here's the rest of it. And again, they're like, oh, okay. They're like, fuck it. We're just going to come down and get it ourselves.
Right.
Because clearly this whole like asking you for it and you telling you gave it to us isn't working out.
Right. Well, let's listen to Trusty here. I'm sure we can trust everything that comes out of his pie hole here.
Well, it may not have been the most respectful precedent in terms of the way it was rolled out by Jim Comey and the reasoning that he employed, but I'll take it in terms of the result. And look, the difference was that was a striking difference between the two situations. Hillary Clinton had no protection under the Presidential Records Act. That had nothing to do with her at all.
Why do they keep quoting the Presidential Records Act like it's some kind of right he has, as not opposed to the law he fucking broke? Why do they keep doing this?
Not only that, but the law he broke and the law that he made even more strict before he left.
Right.
He was like, this actually like 2 years.
We're gonna make it a felony.
We're gonna go 5 years.
I don't understand why they keep referring to it as if it's like they're like, he has the right to these because he was that's not what that thing says at all. Yeah. Like, it doesn't say, it's not even close.
He cannot take it and just go. He's like, I'm going to take this to go. Okay. Like, he's making some sort of order at a restaurant. Like, do you want it for here at the White House, or do you want it to go at Mar-a-Lago?
And he's like he's driving through.
Yeah, it's like he's driving through, right? And
for fast food.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna pick it up to go, and they're like, that's not how that works. You can't just take government documents and then go, all right, got it, see you guys later. And no, you just can't do that. That's not how it works. They weren't declassified.
I've been asking this question. If you're going to eat, because we know these documents have left these folders. If you're going to eat a classified document, do you put on a regular bun, a sesame seed bun? What kind of bun do you?
Oh, no bun.
Oh, so it's just
no. I think there's several ways you can eat the.
So it's a low carb. It's a low carb.
It's a low carb diet. You put some ketchup on it. Maybe some kofefe or something, and you can roll it long, or you can take it sideways.
So you can make it a wrap.
Yeah, you can make it a wrap. You can make it a hot dog. You can make it a hamburger, depending on the shape you want. But
you're making me hungry. Jesus Christ.
You can even make it into a taco, I guess.
Classified taco. Let's listen to Dummy here.
In terms of how you actually classify these documents as only presidential or personal, the classification doesn't matter. She had a personal server. That is a tremendously more insecure way of having access.
That's why it's different. That's why it's different. That's why James Comey actually cascaded Hillary Clinton. He said it was irresponsible for her to do that because she had government information on a private server. It would almost be like if she stole digital documents from the government server and put it on her server. Then can you imagine if that was the case? If she would have stole them as she's walking out the door, Secretary of State, she swiped a bunch of fucking government documents, classified, top secret documents, and then took them home on a thumb drive and put them on her computer.
Oh, I can just tell you. Yeah, the outrage. If we got, the same level, probably if they would probably get more actually based on the history of Republicans getting mad at a tan suit and getting mad at emails. And it's just one of those things where it's like, as you accelerate based on the controversies that are there, they're going to make a big deal out of something that is not from their own party, right? So when it comes to these documents, which contain human intelligence information, they contain data or information that should only be read in a SCIF. They have information relating to nuclear secrets. They just go, guys, it's his stuff. It's his stuff. It's
why is it Presidential Records Act?
Yeah. Why are we making such a big deal about this, right? I mean, you had Greg Gutfeld on the 5 the other day laughing about how this was all like, oh, you're trying to relate this to this. It's like he's trying to belittle the fact that our former president stole, lied, and hid government top secret, highly classified documents. And they're like, yeah, it's no big deal. It's like, whatever.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Is I really think Joe Biden should take just truckloads of top secret documents when he leaves. Take them over to Delaware. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, apparently the Presidential Record Act will let you take anything you want. Shit, he should take the fucking furniture out of the White House.
Not only that, but as a president, if you have, they're saying, oh, you can unilaterally just like wave a hand and say it's declassified. Well, if Trump did that, then Biden could also in this same moment say,
do that,
classified.
Right.
And then he gets to be like, you can't have these. They're classified. Right. So it's the same type of bullshit when they try to make an argument of like, oh, well, we should impeach this person. Okay, well, the next person up is Harris. Okay, well, the next person up is Pelosi. Like, they don't think these things through. And so when they make an argument that is of a legal status or stature, they go, well, this is what it is. And it's like, okay, well, let's really think this one through. Because if you're saying that this is true, then the other president or the current president, Biden, could also act the same way for the documents that he declassified.
In the same way that you're saying. Well, it reminds me of that. You remember that when the gasoline was going up because Russia invaded a sovereign country, and
you mean because Biden hit the switch on his desk,
right? Yeah, and they were putting stickers. I did that on the gas pumps, pointing to the price. And now, as the price is going down, the sticker's still there saying I did that. Like they didn't have the foresight to go, I'm gonna put this here, and eventually it'll go down. Like it was only gasoline only goes up. It never goes down.
It's same thing with the Let's Go Brandon. You co-opt the message and you say, actually, we're going to use that for this. And now they're really upset at the Dark Brandon thing.
Right. They hate
because they do not have the foresight. They do not future-proof their dumbass ideas. So when shit turns the other way against them and for the Democratic Party, they're like, oh, shit. Oh, no. And they're rushing all over the place and trying to peel the stickers off the gas pumps.
Well, that's why. Yes, this morning they're freaking out because Joe Biden is rallying democracy to defeat them, and they're freaking the fuck out. Now, you found speaking of this, is it Jim Trusty? Is that what his name is? Jim Trusty.
James Trusty is his full name, but he goes by Jim.
Jimmy Trusty here.
Mm-hmm.
You found the draft version of a commercial that he did. Is that right?
Yeah, I found on the Deep Dark Brandon web.
Okay, well, let's play this draft version of the commercial that he's going to air soon.
Is your patriotic voice being canceled? Did you try to overthrow the government? Are you a former president who stole highly classified documents? Well, then you need a lawyer you can trust. Hi, I'm Jim Trusty, and I'm a lawyer. Really,
when I was charged with smearing my own shit on the walls of the Capitol on January 6th, Jim was there to defend me. And thanks to him, I only got to serve 16 months in prison.
I also teach criminal courtroom evidence and trial advocacy at the University of Maryland.
When I took Jim Trusty's course, I learned that stealing government property was like as serious as like an overdue library book. Ooh, and I almost forgot. Now you can follow me on Twitter for unsolicited legal takes.
So when you need a lawyer you can trust, remember to call Jim Trusty.
For just 184 easy payments of $99.99, Jim Trusty will maybe help you too. No money back guarantee.
Oh, he changed his website and his phone number, but
yeah,
it looks like he's getting.
I'm not saying that's his real phone number.
Oh, but
that's his real phone number.
Well, I mean, he
put it out there. He put it out there.
Well, he's advertising it. He's advertising it. We're just trying to make sure.
I'm just saying.
We show you the facts.
He actually, and I don't know if you could hear it, but I said, you would normally say I taught this class, but on the University of Maryland website.
Where he is a professor.
Yeah, he is a professor. What he does, or what they did was they wrote, he teached.
No, they didn't.
He did. Yeah, I'll find it right now. He teached.
No, they didn't.
These classes. So I tried to repeat it, but I don't know if it came across when I was doing and I was like stuffing my face. That, by the way,
that was you. No, I thought that was Jim Trusty. I thought that was just Jim Trusty.
Yeah, no, it was 100% Jim Trusty.
Right, 100% Jim Trusty. Who else do we got on the list? We got Christina Bobb on the list. Christina Bobb, we've ran into Christina Bobb a lot here at the Tony Michaels podcast over the last year because we know who Christina Bobb is. She's not fooling us. She's not fooling us here at the Tony Michaels podcast. She was in the war room with John Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, Steve Bannon trying to overthrow our government. Let me show you a picture of that here. Here it is here. This is, again, you see John Eastman here. You see Rudy Colludi, Grandpa Farty McSharty, Rudy Giuliani, and then Christina Bobb right here. Everyone wants to make her out to be an OAN propagandist, which she is that. She is that too.
No, she is, yeah.
But she was in the Department of Homeland Security. She was an executive secretary. She's never really been an attorney until she had to be one for Trump, obviously, because some of the boneheaded shit she said. Is there something specific boneheaded that she said this week that we want to play?
I'm trying to recall. I'm honestly doing a catalog in my brain right now of all the dumb things that they've said.
It's tough. It's tough.
Well, we definitely have one for Alina Habba.
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if Christina Bobb
you mean like a
one.
shitty legal take?
Yeah.
Well, let me go to the videos here. Well, here you go. It's the Christina Bobb that actually.
This is what started it off. That was the original video. That
this one here.
The one with the pink in front of it was like, is she in front of a green screen kind of situation?
Yeah. She's trying Jupiter.
But that
she's
one was
on Jupiter.
Yeah. That was she's definitely on another planet. That is.
Well, shit. So in this one, this is when it all really started, right? This is when it starts. So this is her justification of him stealing top secret documents. This is the original. It might have been planted shit, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was actually anything there that's worthwhile. We'll see what they come up with. If they did, it'll be interesting, especially since they precluded me from actually watching what they did. But at this point, I don't necessarily think that they would even go to the extent of trying to plant information. I think they just make stuff up and, come up with whatever they want. And that's the way that they will have to proceed in order to actually try to indict the president, because they don't have anything. There's just nothing there.
Oh boy, this one was evergreen, wasn't it, Gabe? Oh my God. I mean, the fucking buffoonery, the boneheadedry here is just astounding. This is back when they originally served the warrant.
This was August 9th. So it was the day after is when
it's been that goddamn long. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Like, dude, I've been trying to work on I've been trying to work on what was that segment for this? And I'm like, oh, maybe I should wait till this. And now that this inventory list has come out, I'm like, okay, maybe I can finally make one.
You're going to keep
doing
like
dumb
a half
stuff.
an hour. You're going to have to do like a half an hour on it.
It honestly might be the longest segment I've done. It won't be a half hour, but it might be like maybe 10, 12, 15 minutes. If I had to guess.
It's going to be long, especially with all these clips of these dumb fucks in here.
I know.
Christina Bobb, this is the most evergreen clip Oh my God.
It aged so beautifully. In a matter of 3 weeks, it went from like, that's a dumb take to, oh man, that is the dumbest of takes.
Well, what's even better is the other attorney that we have on the Bonehead list.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, all kinds of people are in and out of this spot. Like Christina Bobb here is trying to make the argument that there was nothing there. There's no way they'll find anything.
Yeah.
There's no way. And of course, they found all kinds of shit. We have the list of the
inventory. And again,
now of
it
all
is one of those things that they keep talking. They keep saying stuff and they keep going, no, it's not as bad as it looks. They planted it. It wasn't serious. This and that. Like they're coming up with all these, boneheaded answers and responses and takes. And then the DOJ goes, okay, look, we didn't even want to make this thing public, but because you guys keep saying shit, we have to respond. And every time we respond, we show a little bit more. Like we allow you to peek behind the curtain with information that can be actually shared and doesn't actually reveal certain like sensitive information. So every time they do that, Republicans, MAGA, Trump, his lawyers, they all look like fucking dumbasses. They've got egg on their face and they keep smiling and trying to work through it.
Right. Well, here's one White House attorney who used to be in Trump's realm, who has definitely exited. But this attorney, I feel like he's sending this message not to just John Eastman, but to all these attorneys that are on TV. Let's listen to Hirschman here. Oh, is it not? Oh, it doesn't have the sound.
It's a GIF.
Get the greatest criminal defense attorney. You're gonna fucking need it. That's what he said. I thought it was a video. They fucking tricked me.
Oh man,
Twitter,
they got you too good, dude.
Twitter,
they tricked you.
They fucked me. They fucked me hard. You bastards. Oh, here. Maybe this one. Maybe this one will have it. Here's another one.
Orderly transition. I said, good, John. Now I'm going to give you the best free legal advice you're ever getting in your life. Get a great effing criminal defense lawyer. You're going to need it.
Get a great criminal effing defense attorney. You're going to need it. Oh, my God.
Wise advice for anyone who is associated with Trump.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, just in the same room as him.
Yeah. If
we've been describing this, like all these people who went in that room, who took pictures in that room, who publicly posted them. I bet the FBI is going down that list to try to figure out if those people saw that shit. Yeah. They were within fucking arm distance of top secret information. And I pointed this out the other day that Kyle Rittenhouse was in that room. Yeah. And I know a lot of people are like, what's the significance of that? Listen, if he was willing to let Kyle Rittenhouse put his scummy little murderous hands on these fucking documents that are our documents, that are the highest secrets in our government, you don't think he'd sell them to the Saudis?
Yeah.
You don't think he'd just fucking give them away to Russia for whatever the hell he wants? You don't think he would do that? Unload a classified folder full of top secret information? I don't know. I don't know how many folders it will hold $2 billion worth of classified documents. We should ask Jared maybe, but I'm just telling you.
But Trump, I mean, the other thing too that we need to really acknowledge is the fact that Trump is an egomaniac. He is a narcissist. He thrives on people complimenting him and doing what he says and being the smartest person in the room. So when he has guests in there, what does he have to offer? Because there's nothing really more than like, oh, I was president for 4 years and you love me and oh, this is great, thumbs up. Now, the cherry on top would be he goes, hey, check this shit out. I've got these documents that no one else has and nobody knows that I have them. And they're like,
100%. That's what he's doing.
We do know the government does know that you have them and they're coming for your ass. But the idea that he would go around people and be like, yeah, you want to check this document out? Let me just go into my fucking desk drawer and open it up.
Well, that's why he got the dishonorable mention. Or no, he got alpha cuck this week.
Yeah, he got alpha cuck.
You made
because every time he tries to challenge the DOJ, they put him in the fucking corner. And they're like, you want to watch? Fine. Fucking make sure your eyes are open while we do this. Like, we will fuck and you watch.
Well, I think we should play the tape here where he he projects. We played this the other day, but this He's phoning it in. He continues to phone it in.
He literally is phoning it in.
Right. He's literally phoning in his confession here. I'm not kidding. He's confessing to a lot of shit here in this it's 42 seconds and he admits to like 3 federal crimes here on this 43 seconds. It's insanity. But let's listen to the alpha get cucked here. Let's listen.
A lot of people think that when you walk into my office, I have confidential documents or whatever it may be.
You do. You did until they came and got the shit.
A lot of people think, a lot of people do think that now.
Right.
Like
because
you made this a thing.
Right.
You caused the DOJ to release this shit and unseal it. And they said, okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do it.
Really, he was the one that got the DOJ involved in the first place. All he had to do was take the fucking little bit of slack that NARA was giving him on these classified documents when they're like, hey, we need our shit. Yeah. This stuff is highly sensitive. You cannot have this stuff.
Yeah.
This is not stuff you can have. Not only is it not yours, you are not allowed to have this shit.
Yeah.
They warned them. Let's listen.
Classified, but I had confidential documents spread out all over my floor.
Yeah, you sure did. He's
more upset at the fact that they made it look sloppy, which, by the way, is the standard way in which you photograph a fucking crime scene. They laid it out in an area that was available to them, and they took a photo with a ruler and the evidence marker and said, great, cool, in the frame. This gives you an idea of what was stashed in that box with those Time magazine frame covers.
Right, because that's why that box is sitting there, because that's the fucking box. That's the box that it was in. It's really ridiculous. Okay, let's continue. Let's hear some more confession here, because he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop at saying, I had classified documents in my office. Because he said some people are saying, and then he admits to it. No, let's Jesus Christ, this fucking guy.
And like a slob, like I'm sitting there reading these documents all day long, or somebody else would read.
The guy can't read.
Do you hear the background? There's someone laughing in the background of this audio. They're like, you can't. And that's what I'm thinking. Like when they're laughing, when he says, like, I'm sitting there reading documents and they're laughing, like, you can't fucking read. That's funny.
He's like, oh, they're laughing at my joke. And they're like, no, you are the joke.
Well, I mean, when he says, I'm just sitting around looking at these documents, it's exactly what you're saying. He has this shit stashed in his office. The shit that he wants to show people is the shit that was in his office.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows where it's at. And he's got 3 of them in his desk drawer that are ready and available to have bragging rights that he has top secret information. Let's continue.
It's so dishonest when you look at it. And so people were.
So he says all those things they're telling you, all that stuff is true.
Yeah.
It's all true, but it's so dishonest.
It's so dishonest that they made me look like a slob.
Right.
Yeah, I committed treason and violated the Espionage Act, and I took those documents without permission, and there wasn't any log of these documents. There wasn't any communication with the agencies that actually classified them so that they could declassify them. Like, there's no paper trail. He just took it and said, mine. And then now he's saying, well, I declassified them and people think I'm just looking at them. Yeah, you probably are. You probably do look at that shit every day to be like, I'm the president. Like, that's the type of mindset he has where he's like, today's classified folder will be the bombing of XYZ, right? Like, it'll be something. And then that's what the things that he's like, oh, you want to check out this cool classified file I've got?
Well, we're only 23 seconds into this, buffooners. Can you imagine listening to this entire interview? Let's listen to the last few tens of seconds.
We're concerned because they said, gee, that's a strange scene. You look at the floor and you see documents, right? They have cover sheets of documents. No, they put them there, John, and they put them there in a messy fashion. And then they took a picture and they released it to the public. And this is what we're dealing with these people.
Do you remember the documentary interview where he's like, I look orange. I look orange.
Yeah. He's like, can we fix the orange?
Why do I look orange?
Can we fix that?
Why do I look orange? This is the same shit.
Here's my question is, they're so upset. They're like, oh, he made it look sloppy and they put it on the ground, this and that. Like, I don't know what the actual layout of his office is because we only see the photos where he takes with people and he gives the fucking dumbass thumbs up, right?
Right.
But
in
when
front
I
of the
look
Kim Jong,
in front of the I'm shaking Kim Jong-un's hand and all this stuff. But when you stop and really think about this, would he have been like okay or like happier if they had like neatly stacked them right in like 3 rows of 4 column? Like, is that what he have been okay with? Would Republicans not be outraged if they just laid them out next to each other in an organized fashion?
I
like that's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to understand here.
If you're trying to find logic in that 42 seconds of nonsense that we just listened to, everyone's got a grandpa out there, right? I mean, everyone's kind of grandpa. And, you know, grandpa reaches an age where half the time when he's saying shit, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. He's saying all kinds of shit.
You smile and you nod and you go, yeah, grandpa.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a great story.
The only thing is the difference between my grandpa and this grandpa is my grandpa didn't violate the fucking Espionage Act.
Well, you know.
I would also say that probably for most of our viewers and anyone watching is that their grandpa didn't also violate the Espionage Act, isn't a treasonous traitor who stole government documents that were not his.
Speaking of treasonous traitors, we had Ginni Thomas, the wife of Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court justice's dishonorable mention. I think this story got buried this week, and I'm glad you made her the dishonorable mention at the last moment here.
Yeah,
because I think this is important to recognize as we go into September and these January 6th select hearings are going to break out. Ginni Thomas needs to sit in the chair. Hopefully, the former Vice President Mike Pence and Ginni Thomas will sit in the chair for questioning, whether it's public or private. I think they both need to sit for this. But Kyle Griffin has it here breaking Washington. It's a Washington Post story. Ginni Thomas pressed lawmakers to overturn Joe Biden's 2020 victory, not only in Arizona, which she emailed 29 lawmakers in Arizona, as previously reported, but also in a second battleground state, Wisconsin, according to the emails obtained under state public records law. So she was really heavily deep in this state electors campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I think this is where the DOJ is going to pounce on these son of a bitches. And any criminals, whether it's state, federal, these boneheads like Ginni Thomas here, who got dishonorable mention this week for finding out that she wasn't doing it in just one state, she was doing it in a bunch of them. And the reason why that's so significant is because they were trying to get a slate of electors that could be switched for Vice President Pence to declare Donald Trump the dictator and king. So that's how we got Ginni Thomas.
And again, we talked about this, when this was yesterday, the day before that this dropped. But again, it is insane to think that we have the wife of a sitting Supreme Court justice, Clarence Thomas, his wife, Ginni Thomas, was just sexting with Mark Meadows and sending these seditious texts, right? Going at it and saying, we need to make sure that we don't make Biden president. We need to make sure that Donald Trump is president because he's going to save us. Spreading QAnon conspiracy theories because that's what she is. She is a QAnon nut. But the fact that we have someone who not only was texting Mark Meadows, who is the chief of staff to Donald Trump, but was also emailing Arizona to get those state electors. And then we find out that it was also Wisconsin. Like, maybe there's more. I wouldn't doubt it. For the other swing states like Pennsylvania, probably Michigan, whatever it might be. But I guarantee that she had further communication. This might be just the tip of the iceberg. And I really do hope the DOJ comes in and goes, okay, enough is enough. As if the other things weren't enough to show intent and to show malicious intent to go against our democracy. But at this point, I'm like, I hope they go after her and make her testify, subpoena her, hold her and make her actually speak to the questions that the Jan 6 committee has, because right now she's just free floating. I know, as an open traitor.
Speaking of free floating traitors, Bill Barr was apparently just on Fox News. This is kind of breaking, and he's talking about the documents in the boxes that we were just talking about. Let's just listen to it here and see what Dummy has to say.
I can't think of a legitimate reason why they could be taken out of the government, away from the government, if they're classified. I frankly am skeptical of this claim that I declassified everything, because frankly, I think it's highly improbable. And
fuck.
second, if in fact he sort of stood over scores of boxes, not really knowing what was in them, and said, "I hereby
Like a priest.
declassify everything in here," that would be such an abuse. Show such recklessness that it's almost worse than taking the documents.
Oh my God! So here is Bill Barr, this piece of shit.
Yeah,
there are huge cracks.
This does not absolve him of anything that he did. By the way,
no. But let me tell you something. When Bill Barr is going on Fox News and saying, "Hey, him claiming that he declassified all this shit is worse than him taking it." When Bill Barr says that out loud on Fox News, this guy's in big fucking trouble. He's in big trouble. And I think Bill Barr is signaling to people he's going to go to prison for this, dummies. You better stop defending it because he's going to go to prison. This guy was one of the most ruthless Trump defenders as the Attorney General of the United States. This is not some fucking schlub. This guy made sure to bury the fucking Mueller report so that Trump wouldn't be indicted on charges for Russia collusion.
Right. Or the fact that he tried to get Barr, and Barr was like, "Yeah, we'll use the DOJ to protect you from E. Jean Carroll."
Right.
Like with that lawsuit. Right. I was like, whoa. What are we doing here, guys? That is not what you should be using your power for.
That scumbag is the one. That's the one who is now saying, hey, you need to stop defending this guy because his argument, it doesn't matter which argument he makes, they're both really treasonous arguments. Yeah. They're both really treasonous.
If I were to quote Bill Barr right now, it's bullshit.
Right. Well, speaking of bullshit, it brings us to our winner, Bonehead of the Week, Alina Habba. Oh my God, you talk about bullshit. I don't know where she comes up with these legal takes. I don't know where she got her fucking law degree from, but it doesn't seem like she even has a law degree, to be quite honest with you.
I don't think she'll have a law degree much longer, especially for Christina Bobb. They're making these accusations.
I know. It's ridiculous. Well, it's so much so that they got their own sitcom, Shitty Legal Takes. Let's watch this episode of Shitty Legal Takes here, featuring Alina Habba.
What's happened is now they've put this picture out so that you would assume, and I am somebody who has been, and the press loves to talk about this, especially today. I'm somebody that has been in his office. I've seen it. This is not the way his office looks.
What has she seen? His office or is it? I don't know what it is. I think it is the office, but I don't know.
I think as a lawyer, it's important that you are very specific with your words.
Right. And it is kind of generic, but let's continue.
So they give you this appearance that you walk in and there's these top secret documents just strewn about. A, B, they don't understand. Something could be.
That was 2A. She says A. Yep, that was 2A.
Yeah.
Like that's the picture. Like she's walking straight into it.
Marked top secret could be marked classified. The Presidential Records Act.
Here we go with
he would have said this is declassified. It doesn't get a new marking all the time. He's left the office
all the time. She even admits it doesn't get a new marking. I mean, most of the time, like every single time it gets a mark. Like maybe there's one or two instances where it didn't. That was a mistake, and probably someone paid the price for that. But Jesus,
it is a complete public spectacle, and I'm not really going to stand by it anymore. I personally have gotten into.
What's hilarious about the public spectacle thing is it was them that did this. They made the public spectacle.
Yeah.
Like literally NARA and DOJ wanted to keep this under wraps. They did not want this out in the public. They did not want to make this they really didn't want to do this thing where they released a photo, released the affidavit, released the fucking inventory list. They didn't want to do that. They did not want to do that. They wanted to make
even
their case
further back, you have to remember that in January, NARA made a visit down to get those 15 boxes. And again, like you're pointing out, this whole thing could have been avoided by one, not stealing the documents, but two, not playing this cat and mouse game for 18 to 20 months and saying, we don't have the documents. We swear we don't have the documents. We have written down as a lawyer representing Trump, we don't have the documents. We gave you all the documents. As they go down and they go back and forth. And NAR was like, okay, you know what? We're just going to put this timeline on our website and we're going to let everyone know this is the communication that happened. And those emails were also released because the lawyers and Trump continued to challenge and say this was all made up. They were the one planting evidence. And they're like, look, we have the fucking receipts. Here they are.
Right.
We have the emails back in May when we were talking
What's
about
funny
this.
about all this, if you really think about this, the people that are going to take down Trump here are fucking librarians. Okay.
Yeah.
Like literally librarians at the national, and I'm not trying to, they're doing great work and they catalog everything. What I'm trying to say is librarians usually are very smart. They have great memories and they document everything. They document everything. Jesus, you take a book 20 years later, they know you still have that goddamn book.
Yeah.
And it is librarians that are going to take down Trump. This is hilarious. Let's continue to listen to this bonehead.
Intimidated. People have tried to intimidate me. It's not going to work. You can't just put a picture like this and say, look.
Did the FBI do that, or was that the way that room looked before they went in there? Do you have any firsthand knowledge?
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the press today. I do have firsthand knowledge, as you know. I have been down there. I'm down there frequently. I have never seen that. I have never, ever seen that. That is not the way his office looks. Anybody that knows President Trump's office, he has guests frequently there. It's just a joke. They literally must have gone in and taken out documents they wanted, or cover letters as it is, and put it about so that the public believes that this is top secret documents that were on his floor. It's ridiculous.
They were top secret documents on his floor.
She's saying the quiet part out loud. She's like admitting.
Oh my God, she's such a bonehead.
She goes, "Yeah, I went down there. I saw those documents. No, I saw those documents, and yeah, there were frequent guests that came down there. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the big deal is. Why do people keep freaking out?
Right. I have no idea where she got her law degree and how he found this attorney. I have no idea. Maybe she snuck in with the Russian spy who claims to be a Rothschild. Yeah. Let's give Habba her due for Bonehead of the Week. Well, Gabe, it was pretty close between Habba and Bobb.
Yeah.
And Habba
it was back and forth the whole
right?
night.
I know. It was close between the two of them. So thanks for voting for Bonehead of the Week. Don't forget to go follow at Tony Michaels Pod to vote every single week for Bonehead of the Week. And you can watch Bonehead of the Week every single Friday here in the second hour of the Tony Michaels Podcast, and also the replay on the MeidasTouch Network's YouTube page. Don't forget to go over there and subscribe. You're not going to want to miss the replay in prime time every Friday night. Also, subscribe here at the Tony Michaels Podcast. If you're on MeidasTouch watching it, come over to the Tony Michaels Podcast. Watch us every single weekday, noon Eastern, 11 Central, 9 Pacific, Monday through Friday, and also simulcasting at the MeidasTouch Facebook page. You can also download every single episode on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast, and listen in. Make sure to leave a review while you're there. Gabe, it's been a hell of a theme with these lawyers this week, but we made it through. We made it through the week. I'm sure the weekend's just going to give us plenty more news on Monday.
Yes.
Plenty more news on Monday.
Monday for the holiday. By the way, are we doing a show on Monday?
I planned on it. If you want to take off, I'm good to go. I've got
nothing else going on.
Right.
I'll see you on the show.
All I do is yell and scream into a microphone. That's all I do is yell and scream into the microphone. So join us on Monday. If you're here at the Tony Michaels Podcast, stick around. But if you're on the MeidasTouch YouTube channel, thanks for joining us for this edition of Bonehead of the Week.